Oh hi, it's Bukai, and welcome back to our solo Let's Play challenge. And yeah, as you can see, we've got 46,000 on Ziggiga Frogs. Yeah, we're very slowly making our way up on that number on there. And I, for one, am getting tired of Giga Frogs for a bit, and you'll see within this video that I decide I'm going to go to crab cakes for a little bit on there just to help speed some things up, especially going to the, and if I'm going to speed things up and go for a change of pace, I might as well try and get some nougat cakes up. Now, getting the Enforced Slasher is not going to help with the Giga Frogs or a lot of the older Zows for World 1 and World 2, some of the lower ones that I'm already one-shooting. However, it will help for the later mobs, and it'll also help out for when World 3 comes out and whatnot. But then I remembered that someone was telling me that lava's apparently, for World 3, reducing the cost of all gold and plat tools. And so I'm hoping that if lava's changing the cost of all gold and plat items, that he also reduces the cost of the actual tier 4 items and whatnot, considering if he's releasing tier 5 and maybe even tier 6, we might be onto something on there. So it's right now just, I need to build up a supply of leather hides. I probably should have switched that over to just being on the leather hides, like double producing it, but because it's a solo challenge on there, producing 2 items on there may be a better choice, but you know, it is what it is. So run into town, I realize I forgot again to switch over to dice 3 on there. So I've got to, again, because I still don't learn on there, go to dice 3. One day I'll learn, folks. One day I'll learn. And from here, I'm just selling all my duplicate stamps, selling all the useless stuff, and just continuously buying up my stock of hot dogs because I need my massive supply of golden peanuts on there, and it's just a necessary evil for me to obtain. And I also have been neglecting buying the good old-fashioned talent point resets, so time to go back to purchasing those. Now, when it comes down to my statues, I haven't been getting very lucky, but then again, because of this internet issue, I haven't been able to play too actively recently. Like before, I would just let this thing run, I'd do my stuff in the background, come back maybe once in an hour, and just basically let it run all day. But yeah, without an internet, yeah, it kind of makes that next to impossible to actually do, as I've got to actually go somewhere for real Wi-Fi and whatnot. Now, I know that Jack was telling me that I could probably disconnect my internet, let it run that way, just as long as I remember to reconnect it, then everything will save. That's an option that I could try to do. The one risk with that option is that you still run the risk of a rollback later on. So I don't want to... I'll try it for a couple vids on there and just to see how it goes. The only problem is that I gotta leave that running until I can get back access to the actual internet. Otherwise, it will roll back the entire day. So it's a risk. The question is whether the risk is worth it and whether I can actually get it done. Now, inside of the Alchemy tab, I'm still trying to figure out if there's anything I can buy, if there's anything I can do, but it's really just, every time I open this, I'm just disappointed by the lack of resources that I end up having. I guess that's, that's the territory of an actual solo character, and because the day hasn't flicked over yet, I just dump it in the remainder into water very inefficiently, and dump the water into the cauldrons just because it's been full. And I'm just clicking everywhere to see if there's something that I can spend on, but no. And it looks like I get a new bubble though, which is nice, but unfortunately it's the toilet paper postage one, the Poopy Pete. It's a really crappy talents. Yeah. You basically insult him and he throws a book at your face and it kills you. And yeah. It's a good way to get back to town on there, but it's, yeah. Just not efficient at all. So after thumbing around for a while, I end up just dumping all my water back into the cauldrons, the same thing that I've been doing for the past bit. It's not efficient, it's not really the best use of the water, but there's not much that I can actually do. But it's when I look at my Opals is when I kind of go, ooh, I've been neglecting these on there. And let's take out the attack one and replace that with the pop. The pop Opals are probably the best Opals so far, and I can't wait till we get the I'm hoping it comes in World 3 where we can actually start combining Opals and whatnot. And that's why I've been smashing them on my main, and I'm going to be smashing them here, not just for inventory space. It might be a little bit early to start smashing some of these, but, you know, the things like the bronze luck or the silver luck on there, there's no point keeping, just smash them. The copper nets, or the bronze nets, I probably should have kept. They're worth it to have actually kept for when I switch over to a skilling build. If I need to catch flies, I just switch all of my Opals over to it. Same thing with the fish. I almost smash them, but I do decide ending up to smash all of the actual bronze nets because I'm like, oh, I got 2 silver ones on there. That'll make a difference. But yeah. You know, mistakes happen. You live, you learn, you move on. And it's here that you see that I run over towards crab cakes. And so as I'm working on some other stuff, I'm going to AFK on crab cakes for a while there. And while I'm there AFKing on crab cakes, I will eventually, when it's time for me to actually leave, I will set it overnight back onto the actual Gigafrogs. The reason for that is because, considering, again, the Gigafrog's time just needs to be sped up, that's all. But, you know, I've got to get all of the nougat cakes that I feasibly can on there, and too bad that they are a, 1 in 20,000 drop rate, or 10,000, one of the two numbers. It's just low, and I need 4 more of them, plus I need the King of Food, which means that I need, 60 more of them. Yeah, I'm going to be a while from the actual King of Food, but in order to get my Enforced Slasher, might be time to start, farming a little bit of them. But as of right now, I don't have the actual leather hide, and lava might actually be reducing the cost of it. So the question is whether I want to wait or get it down now. And I think the choice I'm going to be making is wait. Just wait and see, considering I did make the Enforced Slasher on my main account before, 2 days after he reduced it, and he reduced it by a lot. It was 12,000 leather hides and 12 of the actual crab cakes. And I had built all the tier 4 weapons except for the bow, and yeah, that was just not worth it at all. Crab cakes. Crab cakes, crab cakes, crab cakes. Just keep going, man. Just keep grinding them. I'm curious if you guys are enjoying the more seeing the mobs get killed in the backgrounds, or if you guys are enjoying more of the actual township as the older videos were, considering I would like to design the contents more towards the way people like it. So I know that some of the videos have been delayed for the actual likes. I know majority of people prefer the live commentary over the post commentary. The post commentary is easier for me, especially right now where the internet is just taking a crap. So it's a lot easier for me to pop back in on the actual video and give a post commentary for it. But, the second the internet's back up and the second I can handle it on there, I'll go back to the good old-fashioned video footages that you guys enjoy on there. As, this content may have started for me and my friends on there, but it's kind of grown beyond that. And beyond my dreams on there. We're at 550 subs now. That's insane on there. I would have never guessed. In a million years, we would have been hitting 550 subs. But here we are. 550 subs later on there. And it still baffles me, that number. Thank you, everybody who's been subbing. Thank you, everybody who's been watching. And just passing it on. I'm just genuinely surprised on there, and I think it's only starting to dawn on me now. And even though it's like you guys have probably seen by now, the 500 sub special on there and whatnot, and it's only now starting to dawn on me that we've actually hit those numbers. Just insane. I partially still don't believe it, but it's starting to reality's starting to hit home. So again, thank you, everyone. For the bottom of my heart, thank you. As I said before, we decide to flip over towards crab cakes from crab cakes down towards the Gigafrogs at the end, because considering, unfortunately, like I said, I just don't have the internet connection to do this completely 24/7. The second I can, I will, guys. The second I can, I will. If you guys have been enjoying this video on there, please don't hesitate to give it a like, a subscribe, pass it on to your friends. If you didn't like it, pass it to your enemies and whatnot. And if you guys would like to help support the channel, as some people have, and again, I thank all of them to the bottom of my heart, there's a link to a coffee shop where you can go ahead and buy me a coffee on there. It'd be much appreciated. And with that, take care, everyone.